Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm excited to test out some new products with you guys today, and I have 3 to test out, and I actually got them through Octoly. Basically, if you don't know what Octoly is, I'm going to give you just a quick summary, and then I'll link their website down below so you can check it out if you want to. But I just want to give you a little bit of background because when I first heard about Octoly, I wasn't given the background and I was so confused. And then I was really disappointed when I checked them out and then I realized I couldn't sign up. You have to meet certain qualifications, which I'll try to summarize them down below and list them if I can find them. But just look into it for yourself. It is pretty straightforward, but I just recently got approved. And if you're an influencer or creator, you sign up and then you can search their free store where you can handpick items, apply for them, and by applying you write like a little mini proposal, and then the company can approve you and they'll send you the product for free to test out. But the thing I liked about Octoly versus other like subscriptions and things like that, you handpick the items, so you only get what you're interested in. And I am so particular about which ones I apply for because I don't want to apply for anything that's not going to make sense on my channel or that I'm not actually excited about. So I picked 3 items for today's video that I'm super excited about, and I'll let you know if I would spend the money on them and if I think it's worth the money and if I would have purchased it myself. So if you like these kind of videos, definitely let me know. I'm really excited to give you guys my full review and test these out. So I think that's all I had to say. If I did leave anything out, I will leave it in the description or I'll pin a comment down below. But if you have any questions about Octoly, like separate from these products in this video, then let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's all I have to say as far as the information. Let's get right into these products, my review, and testing them out. Okay, so the first thing that caught my eye on the Octoly site was this eye smoker. It's a eye duo smoker by YSL, and I thought this would be perfect for fall. It's in the shade burgundy. They do have 4 shades to choose from, but I thought this would be a good fall shade. I haven't been wearing a ton of eyeshadow lately. I have some kind of sensitivity in my right eye for some reason, so I've kind of laid off a lot of the eye makeup. So I thought this would be a great way to ease back into eye makeup because it is a cream product and I thought it would be really easy to use. I did use it for the first time yesterday, and the reason I used it, I was originally planning on doing a first impression, but I wanted to use it because I wanted to give you guys a good idea on how long lasting it is and also just like the best way to use it. So I do think I have my thoughts kind of set for this, but like I said in my past videos, I do try to update, especially on like luxury or high-end products on my channel because I don't always purchase those and I'm really picky about them. So usually I will try to tie them into a future video. Yeah, this is what the product looks like. It has 2 sides. Like I said, Eye Duo Smoker. One side is like a light shimmery shade right here. It does have like a tint to it that's a little bit pink. I'm going to roll it out just a little bit. I'm not going to do it completely because I don't want to damage the product, but I will say that it's 0.8 grams of product if you're interested in that. The product does retail for $30, which is very expensive. So on my eyes right now, I just have some concealer and face powder. Yesterday, when I tried this out, I wore nothing because I wanted to really see what this product was going to do just on its own. Because it is a luxury product, I would think that it would be able to do well regardless. So I did put it to a good test yesterday. So this is what the colors look like. How pretty are those? It's just really stunning swatch on the hand and on the eyes. So yeah, really like this. So yeah, if you are interested in checking these out, I would totally recommend getting the burgundy shade, especially for fall. But I'm going to zoom you guys in and let you see how this applies. So of course we are going to need some kind of transition shade since this is so pigmented and dark, which you will see. I want to reach for a quick and easy product to use. So I'm going to use this Modern Renaissance palette by ABH, and the reason I'm using this is because it has a selection of transition colors and it has a highlighting shade that I could use, and it comes with a brush. So it's easy to reach for and it's super quick and easy to blend out. So this would be my recommendation to pair it with. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Golden Ochre, this yellowy shade here, on the fluffy side of the brush and just blend that above the crease just a little bit. I'm using the smallest amount of product, and this step is not essential. You can go in with a bronzer or something like that. So yesterday I just went right in with the stick and it didn't blend out as nicely as I wanted it to. So anyway, I'm going to go in a little bit with this shade all the way over here, Raw Sienna, and do the same exact thing. I'm just really going to diffuse that up towards the brow, just so the dark purple doesn't look too crazy. Plus it gives that kind of contoured effect, so it makes my eye look a little bit bigger. Okay, that's it for the palette right now. I'm going to go in with the YSL product now, and I'm going to use both sides of this, but I don't want to bring it up too far. I want to kind of blend it upwards with my finger to start. So I'm going to keep it more towards the base of my eyelid, towards the lashes, and I'm just going to use small strokes to sweep this onto the eye. The shimmer on this side of the stick is so pretty, just without any help at all. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but in person, you can definitely see how shimmery it is. Okay, so this brings me to one of my downfalls with this product. I'm gonna use my middle finger and just kind of blend it up. But the problem is when you try to really blend it in, it's gonna blend away a lot of that pigmentation, because you could see when I first put the product down, it is so beautifully pigmented. And once you go to blend it out, it kind of disappears a little bit, which is pretty normal for a cream product like this. Either do the same thing I'm doing, where you put the product down more towards your lashes and buff it upwards like this, and then just do a second layer. You can totally do that. I just do want to show you that you can easily do this and still get like a really pretty look. So you don't need it to be overly pigmented. It's not like really sticky, just so you know. It does kind of have like almost like a powdery finish, which helps for the longevity of the product. But okay, so you can see that's not super pigmented. It is really pretty, kind of soft and subtle, but you still get that smoky effect. So I do really like it for that. For those of you who don't like such a dramatic look, I would just do this, apply some mascara, maybe a little bit of liner, and then you'd be good to go. So you don't need to do too much with it. You can keep it kind of simple. I think that's what the average person is gonna like, but I'm gonna amp it up a little bit just because I do like more of that dramatic effect. I think it helps with the color and shape of my eye to enhance it a little bit more, but that's personal preference. So for starters, what I'm going to do is take this ColourPop brush. This is really good for cream products. So I'm just going to transfer some of the stick onto the brush, and it transfers really well. So it just shows you how creamy this is. It didn't tug on my eye when I was drawing on my eyelid directly with the stick. When you set it down, it will get on everything. So I would just recommend using the caps that it comes with, of course. So anyway, I added a little bit of the product onto the brush, and that was really effortless. And I'm just gonna use it to go over what we just did, and then softly and gradually just buff it into the crease. I'm just going back and forth, just dabbing the brush onto the stick and then just starting to buff. So that's why I put those transition shades, the powder shadows, down first, because when I buff it into the crease, it's going to kind of blend into those colors rather than my skin, which isn't as natural looking. So it's very beginner friendly and easy to get that smoky effect without it being a mess and without having to do so much blending. So I'm going to do a second layer with the shimmery side and kind of use it to blend into the darker shade. And then just using the brush that we used, I'm just going to softly blend out the shimmery shade, just the edges. Okay, so I need a little bit more of the darker shade just right at the outer V. So I'm just going to draw that on a little bit and then go in with my ColourPop brush. And I'm mostly pressing because I don't want to take away that pigmentation, and I want the product to stay mostly where I put it, which is another plus that I want to say about this product. Because it is so small at the tip, you can control it really easily, and that's why you see like the shimmery shade. I barely had to blend out the edges because the stick itself doesn't create a lot of edges. It's really easy to put it where you want it to go, and then to kind of use the stick to blend it out a little bit. So it is very easy to use, which I do like, especially for a luxury product. But yeah, I think we're pretty much good to go with that. I'm gonna do the other eye real quick and then do a couple more touches. So the next step is going in with an eyeliner. I'm going in with the ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Swerve, which is black, and I'm gonna tight line with this, and then I'm also gonna bring this right against the lashes on my lid just to deepen and smoke it out a little bit more. So yeah, tight lining first. This works best on drier surfaces, so it's not the best liner to tight line with. The reason I chose this eyeliner is because it has such a fine tip and it is retractable. So I'm just going to use the side of the pencil to drag it right against the lash line, just on the outer corner. And then I'm going to take directly from the stick and just go over that with the dark purple. And I'm going to use this flat shader brush by ColourPop and just kind of blend those two together a little bit. Okay, and that's a very subtle touch. I'm also going to amp up a little bit of the glitter with this NYX Roll-On Shimmer in the shade Salmon. And I'm just going to draw it directly on my eye on the edge of the shimmer shade. So I just buffed off the rest of the product that was on this brush, and I'm just going to dab over that glitter just to mix those together. And because the YSL is a cream base, then this glitter will stick a little bit better than on like a powder eyeshadow, for instance. Okay, so I just feel like that helped to transition into the deeper shade. Once again, you can skip that, but going back in with the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm just gonna take the smaller, flatter side of the brush and go in with this light shade here, Tempura, and I'm gonna go in with the smallest amount of product and just highlight the brow bone. It's not a shimmery shade, but it will still give that highlighted effect. I don't have to be too accurate with it. I am going to take this flat shader brush again, and I'm just going to use the smallest amount of product on the very tip of the bristles, going in with the darker shade first, and I'm going to drag this very close to my lower lashes. And I'm not using a lot of product. I just want to connect it to that outer V. Okay, and now that all the product is on my eyes, I'm just going to kind of use the brush to buff that out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the shimmery side. I'm just going to line the waterline and apply some mascara. This is the Lash Sensational by Maybelline, one of my favorites, maybe my favorite of all time. I'm going to really work this into the lashes because I am not wearing falsies, and I want my lashes to stand out against like the smoky purple. Okay, this is the final eye look using the YSL Eye Smoker. I do really like this. Would I spend the $30 on it? That's a lot of money for 2 eyeshadow shades, and you don't get a ton of product in here. You don't need a lot of it because it is so pigmented and so easy to blend out, but it is still a lot of money. I could buy a whole palette for that price. But if you are in the market for a high-end or luxury cream eyeshadow, I do highly recommend this. I would not have picked it as my first product from Octoly if I didn't really think this was going to be a good product. This is the first thing that I have tried from YSL, and I am very impressed. It does have very good reviews, which is another reason I wanted to test it out as well. As far as the lasting power, use a primer underneath that you really trust, and for me that would be the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Yesterday I did wear this from 7 a.m. till about 9 at night, and it did fade a little bit, but it faded nicely. It wasn't patchy or anything. It just started to get kind of mixed in with the oils of my skin, and it didn't look as flattering, so you would need to touch up. But I do believe that this would be really easy to touch up if you were going out. Let me know what you think of the effect that I got, and if you tried this or if you're interested in trying it after seeing this video. Setting that aside, I have 2 more products to test out, and they're both by the same brand, and I already know I'm gonna love these. These are by Ofra Cosmetics, and I handpicked these because I've tried other shades, but I thought that these would go really pretty with this eye look. So it's kind of centered around the eye look for this video, but I do know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of these, and I'm so excited to try them out. So the first one is a highlighter, and I do already have a highlighter by them. That's why I know I will love it, but this is more of, I think, a summery shade. It's in the shade Rodeo Drive. It is more golden, and this is in the shade Blissful. So I have seen this shade floating around the internet, and I think it's going to be so pretty. Maybe I'll do a swatch of Rodeo Drive next to it, but just to show you what this shade looks like on its own, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the formula, and then I will apply it. But it's right there if you can see it. It is kind of like a champagne shade. I thought it was going to be a little bit more pink, but sometimes it depends on the lighting. The formula is my favorite though. Rodeo Drive is my favorite highlighter of all time. I have determined that in a recent video. That's why I wanted another one. These retail for $35, I believe, which is a lot of money, but you can find influencer codes online that can bring down the price, so I would totally recommend doing that. Just look up your favorite YouTuber or influencer and see if they have a code listed in their description. I do not, so you can see the difference in the colors. So side by side, this one, Rodeo Drive, does look a lot more gold, and then Blissful looks a lot more pink, but it looks more peachy in person. So we'll see how it looks on the skin. The packaging is not to die for. It is like plastic drugstore looking packaging, but the product inside is so stunning that it's worth it to suffer through the packaging. You do get 10 grams of product in here. It's worth the price because you need the smallest amount. I like that it's like powerful and striking, but in a natural way because it's not a stripe on your face. It blends in. So I'm going to show you that now. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to use my Morphe R36. This is my favorite brush to use for highlight. This is all you're going to use. You're just going to tap. And I've been highlighting a lot more of my face lately, but you can see I barely just touched my skin. I didn't even really start, and you can still see the effect that it gives. So I'm just going to place it where I want it and then just kind of swirl a little bit just to buff it into the skin. It's very natural. You don't have to go in with anything else to blend it out, which I really like, because some highlights on me, especially lighter shades, just don't look natural at all. And this one, I really feel like it does. It gives a little bit of that wet look, which I really do like. So I'm just going to take it a little bit down the center of the nose and I just use the lightest amount, and that's a little bit too much. So yeah, be careful with the nose highlight. So for my Cupid's bow, that's all I'm going to do. I barely touched it. You don't need a lot of this. This will probably last you forever if you get one of their highlights. Like, I use Rodeo Drive every single day, and there's not even a dent in it. I just feel like that's so stunning, and I think this color will look good on just about everybody because, like I said, it's that peachy shade that's kind of right in the middle. I wish you guys could see it more on camera, but you can see it on the skin. Okay, I just did the other side of my face off camera, but I'm just gonna show you with a small highlighting brush, just a little bit more like detailed highlighting. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this just in the inner corner, and then just a little bit below the brow bone. And just that little amount made such a difference. So yeah, this is an A++. I have nothing at all bad to say about this product. I love it, and I'm so happy to get a second Ofra highlighter to add to my collection. Okay, so moving on to the last product I have to test out. This is the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the shade Manhattan. I have used their liquid lipsticks, and I've highly recommended them. That was in another one of my favorites videos. And these, I think, retail for, it's either $17 or $20, but once again, you can knock down the price by getting one of those codes. I would totally recommend it. But as far as the texture, let me show you. It is very moussey. So let me just like swipe off some of the product on the brush, and you can see it's very thick and it is moussey. So it doesn't dry down completely, but it does dry down quite a bit. So see that shade? I think that's gonna look beautiful. You can see the shadows next to it. That's what I had in mind when I picked this shade out. It wasn't because I was testing out the formula, because I already say the formula itself is like a 5 out of 5. If you're not comfortable with liquid lipsticks and you haven't tried a whole lot of them, or you find them to be too drying, then this is for you because it is a little bit moussier. It doesn't dry down to that like powdery finish. It still has a little bit of transfer to it, so that's a little bit of a downfall if you don't want your lipstick to transfer, but it kind of fades out evenly. Or if it transfers, you'll notice that it gets on things, like it gets on your drinks, but it isn't visible on your actual lips. So I really like the formula. I don't have anything bad to say about it. It just, once again, depends on what you're looking for. If you haven't tried one of their liquid lipsticks and you like liquid lipsticks, or you want to try them, trust me, this is one that you need. So I'm just gonna apply it directly. This is a little bit more drying than some of the other ones that I have for some reason. Also, because it is more of that whipped, thicker kind of texture, and it doesn't dry down completely, you have a lot more time to work it into your lips. This, you have plenty of time to work, which basically means that it's a lot more beginner friendly and it's a lot easier to use. So I did have to dip in here an extra 2 times, but that doesn't bother me at all because it's really evenly on my lips and it feels really good on the lips. It doesn't feel drying, it doesn't feel thick or cakey or anything like that. My lips aren't sticky at all. It's the perfect formula in my opinion. I am gonna go in with a lip liner. This is the shade Ever by NYX, and I'm just gonna kind of touch up the edges. Okay, I forgot to mention that even though this does, like I said, wear off a little bit and it wears off nicely, I can wear this. It is 8:30 right now. I can wear this till 8:30 at night, eat, drink, and all of that, and it'll still be on my lips pretty similarly to how it's on my lips right now. So I knew before sitting down today that I was gonna love this and love the formula, but I do think it really goes nicely with the look. Okay guys, that wraps it up for today's video. If you like videos like this, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on social media because I did talk about these products on Instagram and possibly Twitter before I actually got them and before I sat down to film. So yeah, definitely follow me on there. I would love to talk to you guys and get to know you a little bit better on there and in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in my next video.